just going to pin you.
Yes, got everything cleared, yeah. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. And it's a shame that Chris and Moira couldn't come because he woke up with a really sore throat and they didn't want to risk it. So they got
Neither did we.
Yes, I'd agree. But she did come up to the house and brought the present card, and he stayed in the car. That's your fault, I said. But thank you for coming. It's made my day, yesterday and today. It's lovely to see you. You're my special friends and family. Two who couldn't be here, Drew and Alice, but you know, we spoke to them yesterday, so that was nice. It was lovely. I'm lucky to have my birthday, my special birthday now, but others have missed their special birthdays because of lockdown. Jake's 30th, Chris and Moira both missed their 70th, Alison missed her 50th, couldn't celebrate. Anybody else? No? Right.
My 26th.
Pardon?
My 26th.
So special. Special. I have an attitude to turning 70, which is sod it. We've got a book on our Kindle called Sod 70, and it is about, don't assume that because you're 70 you're old and that you can't do this and you can't do that. So whereas our friend Karen was very like, she didn't want it to happen, did she? And she turned 70 in January, and she was like, she was trying to just ignore this birthday, and people were treating her out, and well, I'm saying bring it on. And thank you for your gifts and your cards and all the nice words you said. But yeah, it's that sod 70, so I've got things I want to do, things I have done, not that I was 70 when I did it, and I've also thought back to what's happened since 1952, when I was born, and some things have come to my mind, but as I say them, if you wouldn't mind chipping in, if you think of anything more, I'd be very grateful. So it's an interactive speech, if you like. So, politically, in 70 years, what's happened? There's been 2 world wars, there's been a lot of wars. The Berlin Wall came down, there's been 3 world wars.
Does the last
Have
month
there
not
been
count?
2 since 52?
Pardon?
Does the last month not count?
It's not a world war though.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think so, it's not a world war.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
The year Jamie was born, 1989,
Yeah.
the Berlin Wall came down. We've had Iraq, we've had Ireland, still we've got Ukraine now.
Falklands.
The Falklands, right?
Which was
Anything
40
else?
years last Saturday.
82.
Vietnam. Although that was an American conflict, but it's still
in
conflict.
my lifetime, yeah.
Korea.
Politically?
Cambodia. Pol Pot in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all a bit negative.
Well, it is, isn't it?
This is all getting a bit grim.
But in politics, I can't think about, because I've never been interested in politics, really. I've never voted until recently.
Now.
Yeah.
There's the Cold War.
I know. Pardon?
The Cold War.
Yeah, I've only learned about that now because the books we're reading that are very informative. They're novels, but they're, yeah. Anyway, so that's politically. Socially, we've moved on from the man going to the pub while the wife cooks the dinner. And, you know, we've now got families eat out. Whole families are very much a continental attitude to dining. And dining out, I mean, we didn't when we were kids. You didn't go out, you didn't dine out. Whereas now you do, and you take the whole family.
We went to Phoenix Coffee.
Right. Stephen, have I said to you? Have I said to you about Bowers in Newcastle, where Mum took us? You might have been too small. I can remember Michael, but I don't know about you. But you would have been born. I don't know where you would be. Excluded.
Oh yeah, you maybe stayed at home.
Wine. We didn't used to have wine in this country in the early 50s. It was all beers, wasn't it, and spirits, I suppose.
You should try it. It's nice. Wine.
Cherry bean cider.
Oh yes. And Baby Sham.
Baby Sham.
Baby Sham, yes. We've started eating foreign dishes. You know, Indian, Italian, Mexican, Chinese, and then lots of other things like Polish has come into it, and Turkish and whatever. But I remember, Michael and I, certainly Stephen, I can't remember if you remember it, but was it Vesta meals? box
Oh,
meals, and we've
Chinese.
persuaded Mum to get a curry one. I mean, we'd think it would be disgusting now, but you know, it was like, oh, the bee's knees to have a Vesta and a Chinese we had, as opposed to fish on a Friday. Climate change, we're into that. I mean, that's been a sad thing to have to deal with. Travelling, I mean, again, abroad and flying and travel with in terms of our own transport. Yeah. Same-sex relationships accepted now, weren't then. Very much so, it was illegal, I think. And the new man, as in Ben, as in all the men here. Yeah, in terms of like being a parent, being a dad, being involved with the children, new man. What have I achieved? What am I proud of? What have I experienced? So, what have I achieved? I've run the Great North Run twice. Nearly died the second time. Quilting is my passion at the moment, and I'm very proud of what I've done so far and wish I could show Mum. Well, she might say there's a mistake there, but you know, never mind. My art, as always. I'm proud of my children, including, you know, we've got 4 children, including Ben and Jamie and of course Drew and Alice. The 4 of you, we are very, very proud of. And I've got 4 diamonds on my wedding ring, which is for children in our marriage. So we're very proud of everything you've done and are doing still. What have I experienced? Muscles. I think it was my 40th birthday and I wanted to experience things. And I said to my friend Karen, I've never had muscles. So we went.
That was your nickname for Dad. Muscle man.
You seen it?
You don't have to agree.
Yeah, so Karen took me to, is it the big muscle on the quayside? And I thought, how have I lived without muscles? So that was the first of my experiences. And then I think it was my 50th, it was horse riding. So I've done that, and that was up in Sea Houses, and then we did, the final thing was a hack along the beach and through the dunes. Perfect. Jamie did that with me. Whitewater rafting was, might have been from a 50th, I can't remember. I think so. And we went to Kenmore, and we were, it had rained a lot, it was October half term, and so the river was in a spate, and we had 2 rafts went out, and we were in the second raft with the Australian young girl who was mad, and she had us up on our end, she had us in, I was in the water and dragged out by the straps of my thing. It's black and you don't know which way is up, but it was thrilling, it was absolutely thrilling. And I've done it in New Zealand, but the river was not in spate, and we had a trainee whitewater rafter instructor who managed to get us stuck on a rock. What to shuffle and shuffle and shuffle off. Obviously this week gone I've experienced the helicopter ride. The Grand Canyon, so I've now done it twice. And the Milford Sound in New Zealand I've experienced. So they are things that were special to me for my special birthdays. What's left to do is the zip wire in Kenmore when we go up, courtesy of Stephen and Alison. So that's next.
We want a video.
Yeah, presumably we'll get one. And my Aston Martin driving experience, courtesy of my husband for my birthday. I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward. So, at the end of the day, thank you very much for coming, and I hope I haven't bored you too silly.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Bye.